Gang, what up, gang? Don't mind me. I am setting things up. So, my name is George. If you're new and newly recently subscribed, welcome to the live of how to get an 800 credit score. Let's get it. Subscribed. Well, yes, so my name is George. I am a credit analyst slash consumer loan underwriter. They're one and the same. Pretty much, I approve loans for a living, and I also help people rebuild and build their credit. So that is me. That is what I do. Throughout the stream, go ahead and ask questions. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing multiple stuff at the same time, so put ones in the chat if you can hear me. If also perfect stream, no one's there's no buffers and whatnot. Let me know. Let me know. One's in the chat. If not, put a two. Any questions you have about how to fix your credit, how to get to 800, put it in the chat. I need you guys to put it in the chat while I finish getting here, and I'll read those questions throughout the stream. So I'm excited. Let's go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, welcome to the stream. I am very excited about this. So, this is going to be something I'm going to be doing every Thursday. I'm going to be coming live to go ahead and go over habits of how to get your credit score in the 800s. So, you guys can be welcome to the club, right? So, what we're going to be doing in these type of lives is we're going to look at credit reports of people that are in the 800, and I'm going to show you with my years of experience in helping people with their credit what exactly they did and how that ties to the credit algorithm. Right after that, we're going to react to a couple of gurus, and we're gonna listen to their advice about how to get to an 800 credit score. So let's see if it matches with what we've seen. Because again, most likely in these type of in these type of videos where they show you how to build your credit, they never show an actual credit report. So that's the thing that makes me just already different. And then besides everything else, everyone else that's been subscribed to my channel and have seen the content. You guys know I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like ain't even that deep. But so let's go ahead and get to it and get started. And again, when you guys can, put your questions in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put a poll out there. All right, so I went ahead and put that out there. Let's go ahead and jump on to it. All right, so like I said, so let's start that again. My name is George. I am a credit analyst slash consumer loan underwriter, which pretty much means I make decisions on how to whether to approve someone for a loan. I also help people build or rebuild their credit. So if you definitely need that, go ahead and put in the comments that you need that pretty much, and I'll send you my email, or you can go ahead and provide me your email in the comments, and I'll reach out to you and we can go ahead and get that started. So I'm gonna be doing these lives every Thursday. To go ahead and go over the habits of how to get into uh, the 800 club. So everyone that's been trying to reach it there, we're going to look at different types of credit reports, react to gurus, where essentially uh, they show you their methods of how to get to it, and you're going to see it's all going to be the same versus my method that I'm going to show you. So that already is going to separate me from these types of clowns. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is a credit score of a person in 800 in the 800s, pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and be breaking this down to go ahead and be able to explain it to you guys. So up here is okay. Let's do this. Oh, too big. Okay, here we go. So right here is their summary of their credit. So we have their public records, which is pretty much if they've ever filed bankruptcy. As you can see, that's a zero. Installment and other balances. So these are for your installment loans. So your autos, boats, house, not your houses, motorcycle, student loans. I think I said that. Personal loans, RV loans, all those type of installment loans. They're gonna be listed here. Real estate balance. That's your commercial real estate. Your your credit card balance on a total. If you're past due, scheduled payment. So it looks like he's only obligated for $65 out of everything that's reporting on his credit, which is really nice. Not gonna lie, it's practically a heavy subscription. How much does he pay for real estate? He doesn't have any. Zero. His total revolving available. So he's only used 6%. So you see how this is 94%. So he is in the top 10% of credit utilization of people. He's in that 1% where you need to be under 10%. That is a portion of it. Again, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook in this video. I got you. All right. Going into the summary, he has only one inquiry in the last 6 months. He has 5 open loans, 3 paid, 5 satisfied, which makes sense. Now delinquency or derogatories he's had was at some point delinquent or derogatory 0, which is nice. He's had credit since 2018. in 3. Let me zoom in a little bit. So that is this information. So moving on down. So over here is going to be the name of the creditor. I'm going to put C for creditor. This. I'm going to put this P for payment history. This right here, we're going to put O for open. Let me see. Boom. And we'll put a B down here for balance. Yeah, don't know why I did that. Alright. B for balance. Okay, so as we can take a look right now at this credit report, so when it comes to building your credit, your payment history is going to be the most important. And that is what's going to go ahead and get you to that 800 credit score. So give me a moment. Let me pull this up. All right, here we go. So to get an 800 credit score, your payment history is the most important. So out of 100, 35 counts for your payment history. So looking at this awesome guy's credit, so he's had this open. This is the open, remember, since November of 2016. So it's always going to be the month and then the year that they opened this. So this has been open since 2016. The bottom is going to be the uh, last time that it was paid, which is going to go ahead and be, sorry, not paid. All right, so this is pretty much open for almost 4 years. I mean, I was making that way too difficult. So essentially from here, so from 2016 to 2020 is essentially what it's gonna go ahead and be. So that will be pretty much almost 4 years. Didn't get quite to November for it to be quite 4, and how we can see that is this right here. So 41 means that's how many years the account has been open for. So this has been open for about 3 years and like 7 or 8 months, some bullshit like that. I don't know. And again, anybody that's new to the stream, welcome. I'm breaking down the habits of how to get to an 800 credit score, and I put a poll in the group. So go ahead and answer that whenever you best can. Let's get it. So let's continue. So essentially, yes. So this right here, as you can see, 41 months. So, and this is the last 2 years. That's the most that we can see, at least on paper for us. But this also tells us, and it'll let us know when you've missed payments, and I'll show you in a bad on a bad on a bad credit report. So let's take a look here. So as we can see, again, so what matters when it comes to building that 800 credit score? It's going to be the payment history. As we can see, never been late ever, which they hit that. They've only had the highest limit they've ever had was 1,500, which is not a lot based off, that's almost 50%. I want to say that is like there we go. All right, amounts owed, they're not owing a lot. They're only owing between 30 to 40%. They've had it for a long time. The credit history, having it open for 3 years, nice credit mix is a credit card, because as you see, we're going to see mixes of installment and revolving. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially installments are loans that have a beginning and a fixed interest rate, and you pay the same amount each month for a certain amount of years. That's an installment loans. So those, you may be thinking your house, your car, your student loan, your motorcycle loan, your RV, your jet ski, boat, side by side if you have a loan with them. Uh, Even if it's a motocross bike. So all those are considered installments, which is the best to build your credit, especially if you're trying to get an 800 credit score, because one is something that's consistently reporting as opposed to revolving. Revolving is based off swiping, so if you swipe it to use it. So think of your credit cards when you're using it. So you may not have a payment always, but at least with an installment, you're guaranteed. Which again, payment history I just showed you, because I ain't lying. Payment history is the most important factor. So as you can see there, that is essentially that. That's why his credit score is at 800. So let's go ahead and continue. Okay, so looking at the next one, this one, he's had it open for 5 years, 60, never late, as I mentioned before. Uh, his highest limit, he's had it at some point at 4,000, but again, he must have paid it off, because again, it's done reporting. He the Looks like they saw that he wasn't using it anymore, and they just closed it on him, which is very common. He's had this since 2014, like I explained. So this is a great importance, like I mentioned back on the graph here. Payment history, amounts owed. We have credit history. We don't know when he got it compared to the other one. So he got this one. This was actually his first. No, that wasn't his first, but this one was before this one. So as we can see, that's why they continue. They're not overusing. They're paying down their balances, and their payment history, they're not missing. Here is a home loan, and how I can tell is pretty much RC means real estate for us when we're reviewing the credit report. So that information tells us, and we can say right here it's a home, so we know that's a loan, right? Simple. This one they had to open again, almost 2 years. So they were almost building that 100% payment history, but they got to 23, which is fine. Again, no missed payments, paid it off, so that means the balance was taken down to zero. So It makes their credit increase because of that, and that's pretty much what this. Oh, and then also credit mix and credit history. See, so they're utilizing now the mix of credit. There's now revolving and installment. I didn't say what revolving was, but revolving was pretty much your credit cards, your store credit cards, your gasoline credit cards, your lines of credit, your home equity line of credits. Because yes, it is a home equity line. For the people saying that no, it's a home loan, it is not a home loan. It is a line of credit. It's a home equity line of credit. Hello. Anyway, so you see how he's utilizing all that to go ahead and reach that high of 800 credit score. So let's continue. We're getting the same thing here. 99 months. That's over 8 years easy. This was a credit card. He had it. This was actually his first loan he ever opened, and he had it for over 9 years. You see that longevity of the credit history, and this was the authorized user, so this most likely was like raising his credit history and keeping his credit utilization high, because he is a whatever, however much the primary is using, and if it's not a lot, which this one they're using under 10%. Yo, they just nailing. They're not even using 1% of even the credit. So yeah, that is awesome. Go ahead and, like I said, put your questions that you have of how to build your credit, and I'll go ahead and continue on assisting you guys. So let's do it. All right. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. So yes. So again, he had this for over 9 years, really long. So look at that. It went from, yeah, in 2025. Wow, he had this for more than 8 years. He had it for over 20 years, almost 25 years, and he was like, "Yeah, gotta pack it up, Bank of America. I'm done with you." Wow, he had this J.P. Morgan Chase bank credit card since 2004. He closed that, so had it for almost 20 years. See, so you're getting that very long history. So there you go. Let's continue moving down the credit, and that is it. Look at that. Wow, that was pretty easy. So as you can see, what he has open is just these credit cards, which is why he is at a 800 credit score. Is the reason why he's at an 800 credit score. But as you can see, he had an installment loan, which is what's needed, because you have your credit mix with your credit cards that are open, and you have your payment history, and you're paying down your debts. You're having them for a long time, and then you're opening up maybe a new account every once in a while. See, so he had this credit card first, and then um, after this credit card, he waited 2 years and got a Best Buy credit card, and they weren't even high limits. Like this was probably his highest limit, and he had it. 7,000. That's all you really need, unless you're trying to do some business stuff. That's a little bit different. Ooh, let's go ahead and stop. We got a question here. We got a question. So this one is, where does my credit utilization needs to be at? So the minimum where your credit score at least needs to be is at least 30%. That will still affect you, not as bad as having maybe a 50 or 70 or even 90% credit utilization. um it's like, okay, you're like on the edge of you're starting to go bad. So that's just that TD. You guys know what I'm talking about. Things that balance, whatever. But anyway, it's pretty much like a yin and a yang. It's like you're right there on the line, uh, there in the middle. So once you start entering past 30, that's where your credit score is going to start taking a dip. So that's a great place to be, but you want to be at least 10%. So that means if you have a credit card of 10,000, 10% would be pretty much 1,000. That's how much it would go ahead and be. So you could only use up to 1,000 before your credit starts dipping. But that's why people get multiple credit cards, to have a very big credit limit. So then if they overuse, their credit utilization is going high and is being affected. So that's why I see people apply, which I get it. I think if you have a good buffer of 20,000 or maybe 15 to 20,000, that's a pretty good buffer, because you can still do vacations and plan without needing to take out personal loans. So it's like you use it and you pay it, and yeah. So that's what I would say when it comes to your credit utilization is pretty much, yeah, just having at least a minimum of 30, but to be in the best in the high 800s, it's going to go ahead and be the 10%. So I'm glad I was able to answer your question. 30. All right. All right, cool. Let's get back to this right haul. So that's pretty much a person's bad credits or best habits of how they got to an 800. If they really wanted to be at 850, honestly, what they would need to do is just get an installment loan for like 3 years, 2 years. So there's a hack that I created where essentially you take out personal loan money and your you pay down the loan just enough to have payments to last for the next 2 years. So then you can build that payment history, because payment history starts affecting your credit once it's been 2 years. Once it's been 2 years, that's when your credit's just going to start continue shooting up, because the 2 years matters, because that's 24 payments. I know it's 2 years, and you look at it and you're like, oh my god, that's a lot, right? So yeah, that's 24 payments, because 6 months, that's six payments. That's not a lot of payments to be able to depend on that a person's gonna be that's gonna be that we're gonna be giving money for them to make payments, right? 24 payments are better than six payments. I rather trust a person that's paid a person back 24 times versus a person that he's only paid back six times. Why has that happened? Or are you new to this? It's like there's a lot of questions, so that's why payment history matters, and at least having it for 2 years. So that's a hack, easy hack you can go ahead and do. Um, And yeah, so um, so yes. So now let's go ahead and look at a person that has a bad credit history. Ugh, disgusting. All right, so here we go. Just like how I talked about before. Shoot, this person is down bad. Okay, they have a 599 credit score. That's crazy work. That could never be me. Alright, let's make this big. Okay, perfect. Okay, so like I said, credit score 599. Whew. He's barely gonna top off to 600. Let's see why he fuck off. Um we're gonna see why his credit scores is bad. All right, let's take a look at this loan. So it's Vive Financial. They're a credit card company. So he had a credit limit with him of 5,000, and he charged off a a little less than 50% because we know 2,500 plus 2,500 equals 5,000. So he charged that off. So he was doing really, really, really good. He missed a payment here. He started getting back on track, and he just at some point said, "Fuck it." So he charged off. So we know payment history is very important, and this is like the biggest fuck up you can do. So good job. So off to a great start. Oh look, we can't even trust him with $370 because he charged off $200 again. He was doing good, doing good. Okay, you see, this is why we say 24 is better than 6 payments. 24 payments. See? This guy got 4 months in and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get him next time." Oh, yo, for sure, next time. Yo, them, yo. That's crazy work. And he was like, whatever. Potato, potato. So, yeah, for 370, he only he only made 4 monthly payments. I can see why your credit score is at a low. Another charge off. We can't even trust him with 700. He even went up. See, he's not paying people. So as we know, payment history is a huge factor. Look at this. Charge off, charge off, charge off. All charge offs right here. He's not paying no one back. $300, $81. You can't even trust him with the funky ass $81. He not even willing to pay you back for $81. That's crazy work. $81, yo. Can't, yo. That's gonna be a short, yo. I'm gonna make that go viral. What? Ugh. Let's go. So as we can tell, he's pretty much not have. He hasn't paid anyone new since. So let's continue because there's more credits. Okay. Okay, we're looking a little better. Oh, okay, I lied. Okay, here we go again. Charge off. How much was that? 111. Funky $111. Uh, Charge off of $16,000. What was this for a car? AUT means auto. Wow, he had 49,000. You only had it for 3 years. 38 means months, so that's not 3 years. 2 years. No, yeah, a little bit over 2 years. No, 36, 12 times 3 is 36. Oh my god, tell nobody I'm this stupid. Anyway, so so he's had it for over 3 years. So, and then he just decided to not want to have it. In 3 years, he's like, wow, can't trust someone with 50 grand. Whew. This is a collection, cull, cull, which is short for collect, and then account, shin, collection. He had AT&T DirecTV. Who the hell still has DirecTV on their credit? Collection account here. All right. Let's see. Here we go. This is another credit card. This was actually paid off. Oh my god. Let's do this. Let's give him a green. He actually paid this. Perfect. Let's point this out. Let's point it out. Look at this. He had this open for 3 years. Out of the three, he only missed three payments. It's so interesting. 3 3. And he's had a high balance at some point, but then he paid it down, which is excellent. And yeah, so good job. So he paid that one good, great actually. He only missed three payments. I would definitely rate that a great. Next, there was a Forever 21 card. He had that for almost 3 years, a little bit over two perfect payments, as we can see. This in 2 years and then 31. Like, because up here, you see how it was telling us 2, 2. So those are missed payments. And those missed payments, wow, I'm hoping you guys have been seeing because it's going to be very embarrassing. But if not, it is what it is. Let's get it. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm really gonna dead ass laugh. Anyway, so pretty much a whole bunch of bad credit here. Finally started paying a lot better. He went ahead and paid off. He only missed three payments right here, as you can see. So really great repayment and credit history there. So his credit was doing, better at some point. Here's another one. This time he didn't miss no payments. You see how there's twos and ones. That's missed payments. G's are just like, G is he gave up, give up. G is give up. And then he has ones for a couple missed payments, and then this one only sees in a zero, and then a B is a balance, and that was the last time they sent him a bill, and he paid that mofo off. Perfect. Look at that. You're doing so good. Look at that. Another paid off account. Perfect. 400. They could trust him with a funky $400. Oh, right here. Ah, shoot. Dang. Something happened to this auto. So he had it for over 7 years. Yeah, 7 times 12 is 84. Yeah, so he had it a little bit more than 7 years, and then in the last 2 years before it was charged off, it looks like in that beginning year he was already 90 days past due. And then from here, something happened. He was probably working with them, and then at some one point he was like, "Yeah, never gonna pay you guys," and they charged him off. That's what I think happened right here. But was that a charge off up here? No, that was a different charge off from GM. So he's charged off two cars. This guy, you can't trust him to pay you back for a car. His funky ass. Yo, what the hell, bro? Alright, let's continue. Okay, he had a unsecured loan for 8 months. That's okay payment history. But he paid him, at least he paid him back $500. That's nice. This one he had for a little longer. It was a credit card. They were like, we'll give him a measly 180. We'll give him a 180. And he was like, I'll take that funky 180. I'll buy some. At some point, he said, yeah. Oh, should I risk it all? Because he was like, yo, I can easily just not pay him. I've done it before. Why not do it here? Crazy work. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. He could at that point just been, bam, yo. He could have been like, bam, you guys are never gonna get that $400. But he chose. He chose because look what happened to his nice deed. He got a loan the following year for 6,500. Look for him. For him not saying "f you" to $400, he was able to get 6,500 and actually pay that. So he was able to get so much more and pay it off within 2 years. He was supposed to have it for 5 years. He said, here's your funky money back. He paid that B just in a little bit of 2 years and 4 months. Clap it up for this gangster. Let's go, baby. Yo, this guy's killing it. He is for sure killing it. That's bodying at its finest. And he had this for 40 months. 40 months. That's crazy work. Wow. Okay, okay. I see you, big dog. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, as we can see, a lot of paid off accounts. At some point, he was past due. One time, 30 days. And how we can tell his current was 30. That's how we know they were 30 days. So I had to be older than 2 years, which is nice because your payment history, once your payment history there's been over 2 years, it doesn't matter as much anymore. We're like, all right, he paid his dues at least back. Let's start bringing them back up. They start letting you into society. Stupid, whatever. Anyway, but that's pretty much how repayment history is. You are forgiven and allowed back in. So let's continue. More things paid off. Everything that he has open over here. Let's see. Alright, let's do this again. All right, so let's take a look here. So now we have this. Now we have open credit card. He's had it open since 2017, so almost over 8 years. That's crazy. For 92 months at least. Yeah, that's an easy 8-9 years. Easy. Almost 9 years because 12 times 9 is 81? No. 12 times 9 now. 12 times 8 is 96. Yeah. I want to say it's somewhere around that. You guys figure that shit out. I'm not a math teacher, but I'm great at math. Okay, anyway. So we got 92 right here. So yes, so he's been perfect. He has a credit limit of 300. He's at 263, so he's definitely over that 30 like a jackass. He has it with Target. That's cool. Good old Target. The highest he's ever had it was 358. I can see he's working, paying them 30s, paying them $30. He has an open auto. Look at that. Someone trusted him with $46,000. They trusted him with $46,000. So far, he's been paying it for 17 months. He hasn't really paid it down a lot. So let's see if his ass just decides to be like, yo, I don't want this either. Let's see, Let's see. Capital One, you bold motherfucker. And then here's a unsecured loan, personal loan, 8,500. Someone actually trusted him with just money. Like, here, we'll give you sign. Bam. He's been paying it for a year, so far he hasn't been like, fuck it. I think he may have just turned his life around. Let's get it. So he has opened this for 13. to have this open for 70. It's a credit card open. Yeah, so I can see why his credit score sucks. The good thing is that he has loans, so he's gonna be busy for at least 5 years paying off loans, and he'll finish paying a personal loan in 3 years and whatnot. So yeah, so I can definitely see if he waits by the time he gets to about his 50th year, his credit will explode if he just stays in the same route where he's at, just paying everything and just paying everything the minimum and never using your credit cards. He'll be able to get to an 800 credit score, I believe, in like 5 years. 5 years, he should be there. 5 years, I predict it. So, all right, so let's close this. So now we can see why this guy has a trash 599. I think if he pays off all his credit cards, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, pays all those off, pays off both these loans. That's about a good solid $15,000 of debt right there without the card. Pay that off. I see his credit score jumping at least to a 670. You gotta remember, these just went bad right now. These just recently went bad this year. So it's like you gotta let him heal. He's healing now. With everything he's healing, so because he's healing, that is what's happening. So great. This was definitely great. Wow. Well, if you guys definitely don't have anything more for me, that's was the habits of the people with the 800 credit score. You guys have yourself a great night, and this has been lovely.